cooking channel. It is youtube.com/TastebudzNG. So if you haven't already subscribed to this cooking channel, you are on a very long thing. Please subscribe to our cooking channel, and if you already subscribe to our cooking channel, thank you so much for joining. And today we're going to be discussing another type of Nigerian delicacy, another type of unripe plantain recipe. This is super delicious. It is unripe plantain porridge using goat meat and dried catfish. That is my goat meat washed in thick chunks. By the way, I love my goat skin. This is super delicious. Those of you that you do understand what I'm talking about. Goat skin is so delicious. I really feel so bad when I'm in the UK or in the States, and then I'm looking for goat meat to make maybe some Caribbean sauce, and then I find the goat meat in the specialty store without the goat skin. You can relate to that. It breaks my heart. So whenever I'm back home in Nigeria, when I'm cooking in my kitchen and I'm having this yummy, delicious piece of goat meat with skin looking at me, I get so excited. Anyway, let's get back to the business of today. So we're preparing unripe plantain porridge using goat meat and dried catfish. Unripe porridge using goat meat and dried catfish. And of course, our unrefined organic red palm oil. We're just going to use a tiny bit of it. And then cubed unripe plantains. I have peeled off the green skin or the bark and chopped them in this tiny cubes. You can choose to have them in larger chunks, but guess what? I love them in this tiny chunk because when you cut them up in tiny bits, it makes cooking faster, and it makes the unripe plantains to absorb the sauce of the porridge. So the choice is yours. You can choose to have it in larger chunks. I choose to have mine in this tiny cubes. Back to the ingredients we're using. I have my favorite Knorr cube, Knorr beef. You can call it nchao. In Igbo language, it's called nchao. In Yoruba, they call it efirin. And it's generally known as scent leaves. And I have here my ground crayfish, some salt to taste, my favorite red Scotch bonnet pepper. Now, red Scotch bonnet pepper, but already blended. And this is my onion, red onion blended. So these are all the things, or rather all the ingredients we're going to be using in the preparation of today's recipe. Remember, unripe plantain porridge using goat meat, dried catfish. This is going to be super delicious. Before we start, I'd like to cook my goat meat. Okay, I'm just going to put my goat meat in my pot, and then I'm going to put in some water. So I'm going to put in my bouillon cube. One should suffice. I'm going to put in some salt to taste. And you can choose to put in your chopped onion or blended onion as it is ready. So I'm going to take this to the gas stop, and I'm going to allow my goat meat to cook about 10 minutes. No, I'm just going to let it cook for about 5 minutes. Because remember what I said in my previous video, cooking unripe plantains takes a longer time than cooking yams or cooking ripe plantains, because it is tough. It is tougher than yams, it is tougher than ripe plantains. And because I know this unripe plantains are going to be taking quite a number of minutes to cook in my pot, I do not want my goat meat to be too soggy. So I'm just going to steam this for just 5 minutes, and we'll get on with our cooking. So while our goat meat is simmering, we're going to come back to our tabletop and ensure that all the other ingredients are all set to be introduced to our pot of soup as at when due. The first thing I'm going to do is to come here and take a very good look at my Abwad dried catfish. Okay, I'm going to take a very good look at my Abwad dried fish. The reason why I buy from Abwad farms is because they always have their catfish cleaned out, inside out. They always get the dirt out. They get it salted before roasting the fish. So it's already cleaned, as you can see. I don't have to start breaking my fish to clean the insides because it's already cleaned. So all I'm going to do is introduce this to my pot of food when it's ready. And at the end of the day, you have this beautifully looking rounded catfish on top of your platter. Isn't that interesting? So be very careful where you buy your catfish from. If you want to have your catfish nicely rounded, looking really nice, sitting on top of the platter, ensure you get catfish that it's already clean, so you don't have to start breaking the fish and trying to find out if it's clean from the inside out. This is already clean from the inside out, as you can see, and it's big, delicious, salted and juicy. So I always buy from Abwad farms. Very delicious, well packaged dried catfish. So now this is ready, and as at when due, we're going to be introducing this into our cooking pot. So let's see how our goat meat is doing, and then we'll know if it's all set for us to toss in our unripe plantains. So our goat meat is simmering. We're going to let it simmer for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to come back to this. So we're going to know if it's all set for us to toss in our cubed unripe plantains and the remainder of the spices. I think this looks ready. Yes, we're getting somewhere. So now our goat meat is ready. It's all cooked, but it's still tough, and I like it that way. So I'm going to be introducing our unripe plantain. I'm going to be introducing our dried prawns. Initially, when I started this cooking, I forgot to introduce you to our dried prawns, also known as oporo. Okay, so I'm going to be introducing our dried prawns. I'm going to be putting some blended crayfish, some fresh pepper and some onion and some water. So I'm going to be putting in some ground red Scotch bonnet pepper. I'm going to be easy on it because I don't want it too spicy. Our ground red onion. Some water. More water. And some red palm oil. Remember that when I was steaming the goat meat, I steamed it with 1 bouillon cube of Knorr seasoning cube and some salt. So I'm not going to add another seasoning cube, and I'm not going to add more salt unless I taste for salt and I'm comfortable with how the taste is. But for now, I'm going to add a bit of palm oil. Okay. And then I'm going to put more water. Remember I told you that our plantains are quite tough. They're not as soft as the, what do you call it now, the yams, and they're not as soft as ripe plantains. So I'm going to put a bit more water to enable the plantain cubes to cook properly. And then when the plantain cubes are a bit more tender, we're going to be introducing our dried Abwad catfish. It's tender. I don't want to cook it for too long, so it's not yet time. This is just going to sit on the corner, sitting pretty, and wait for when it's going to be introduced into our cooking pot. So for now, we're going to cover this pot. Stay our pot of pottage. Taste for salt, taste for salt, pepper, crayfish, and all of those. We're going to taste for that. And then we're going to cover it up and allow it to cook for about 20 minutes. No, it's going to cook for about 10 minutes. Then we'll be introducing our dried abuad catfish. I think we need a bit of salt. Just a tiny bit of salt. That should suffice. Now we're going to cover up the pot and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. So guys, let's see how our boiling pot is doing. We want to be sure if it's time to throw in our abuad dried catfish. Let's find out. Ooh, this is bubbly. Bubbly, 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 bubbly. Yep, I think this is the right time to throw in our abuad catfish. Can you see that the goat meat is now very tender? And our unripe plantain is looking light yellow. So you can tell it's almost ready. In the next 3 to 5 minutes, this should be ready. So I'm going to throw in my abuad dried catfish now. There you go. It has been sitting pretty all this while. It's time to immerse it into this pot of soup. So I'm just going to send it down below into the bottomless pit. I want the broth of the soup. I want the fish to be submerged in the broth of my soup. Remember, I do not want to break my catfish. So I'm just going to do this. And then I'm going to allow this to simmer for about 5 minutes. And voila! Our meal is ready. Guys, this I think is one of the easiest unripe plantain recipe I have shared with you so far. You shouldn't have any problem whatsoever replicating this meal at home. What do you think? Is that a yay or a nay? You shouldn't have any problem, guys, replicating this meal at home. And remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done that already. Thank you for watching. So we're just going to allow this to cook for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then we'll come back to find out how we're faring. And we're going to let this simmer for about 2 to 5 minutes, then we'll come back and find out how we are faring. So while we're waiting for our catfish to simmer, I'm just going to chop one of this red Scotch bonnet pepper for garnishing. So I'm going to chop this. I think 1 or 2 will do. Remember, I'm just going to throw this red Scotch bonnet pepper when our meal is ready, and I'm using it as a garnish. So we don't want to use too much because we already have some ground red Scotch bonnet pepper in our pottage. So I think 1 should do. 1 should suffice. I'm using this as a garnish. So this should suffice as a garnish. So this should suffice as a garnish. Remember, we already have some ground red Scotch bonnet pepper in our meal. So what I'm just doing now is to add a bit of coloring to the face of our meal. So it's a garnish. And this is perfect. We're good. Okay? So we're just going to wait for the fish to get all cooked, and we'll sprinkle this on it with the furring leaves, and we'll call it a day. So guys, we're on the gas stop again. Let's see how our boiling pot is doing. Yay! Everything is ready. Honestly, this is as good as done. Everything is set. By the time we stir this, it's going to thicken. You know why it's going to thicken? Because unripe plantain has a bit of starch in it, healthy starch. Never mind. So that starch that it has is going to thicken the broth of this soup. And remember, I said I do not want my catfish to come out all broken up in tiny bits and pieces. So I'm just going to bring out my dried catfish now because it's ready. Okay? Because I want it to sit pretty on top of my platter. So I'm just going to scoop it out a bit now. I'm going to scoop it out because it's all ready. Okay? Look at that. Isn't this beautiful? It is. I know it is. I know it is. I know it is. So I'm just going to sprinkle this. They're fairing leaves. Okay? And remember I said I'm going to use this as a garnish. Can you see how colorful this looks? Yum! Yum! This is colorful and it's delicious. Trust me. You guys should try this at home. This is super, super, super delicious. I'm just going to turn off the heat. Remember I said I don't want my catfish to break. I'm going to turn it off. It's ready. It's ready. It's ready. Don't mind me. I usually get very excited at the end of my cooking because it's like the whole work, everything you put in, the time and energy is actually paying off at the end of the day. So I usually get excited. So this is it. I'm going to bring out my catfish now and I'm going to stir this and you're going to watch the sauce thicken as I stir. A little abracadabra, not so much, just a little bit of magic. Magic! I'm going to bring out the fish. I don't want it to break. Oh, my catfish. Please be nice to me. There you go. Now for the very big one. Please be nice to me. Please be nice to me. I love you, catfish. Yes! I did it! Can you see? Catfish is whole. It didn't break. So that's it. So now I'm going to stir the pot of pottage. I'm going to stir it until it thickens. So guys, I'm going to stir this until it thickens. Can you see it? It's thickening, it's thickening. Just keep on stirring. Keep on stirring, keep on stirring. And there's something else I want to tell you. Because of the starch content in the unripe plantain porridge, when it cools off, when the heat is out, it gets thicker. The sauce you're seeing in here gets thicker when the heat goes off. So you don't want to make it too thick, guys. You don't want to make it too thick. You just might as well turn off your heat now, because when it cools off, it does get thicker. Now these are the big chunks of my goat meat. Goat meat with skin. I can't wait to dig in. Now this is my meal. I'm not preparing this for any clients. This is my dinner actually. So I can't wait to dig in. Look at that. Look at that. Oh God. So now our meat is ready. I'm not going to make it too thick because once it gets cooler, it's going to thicken naturally because of the starch content in our plantains. Okay? So it's ready. It's ready. So thank you guys for watching and remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Bye bye from Tastebudz and now let me just put a little garnish. And that's about all that I have. I'll turn off the heat Remember, you can always chop more. Remember, you can always chop more red Scotch bonnet pepper and a little bit more efirin leaves and add to your meal as a garnish. So this is ready. So guys, this is our pot of unripe plantain pottage using goat meat and dried catfish. It's all ready to be served, and I'm going to serve it into this beautiful rectangular platter. So this is how you prepare unripe plantain pottage using dried catfish and delicious goat meat. So this is it for me. I'm just gonna have a taste of my cooking, and trust me, I know it is delicious. Look at that big chunk of dried fish. Ooh, I can tell someone is salivating already. So I'm dishing this, and I can tell some of you are salivating. Some of you are salivating, and this is my goat meat right there. I'm gonna add another piece of goat meat because I've been dying all day, honestly, to have a taste of this goat meat. And I love goat with skin. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Oh, yum, 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 yum. Who wants to join me? Now you can touch it up with a bit of chili if you really like it spicy, but I don't. So I'm not going to be putting spice. This is some of the dried prawns I used in cooking. I like to have a taste of it too. So I'm going to put that in my meal. Oh, look at that. More dried prawns. And if you like the sauce of the yam pottage, you can feel free to, put in some of the sauce. It makes it extra delicious. Look at that sauce. Look at that sauce. I love sauce. And you can sprinkle the sauce all over your dried catfish. It adds to the flavoring. Look at. Okay. So here is a plate. Here is a plate of the unripe plantain pottage. So here is our unripe plantain pottage using dried catfish from Abwad Farms and goat meat. Native goat meat is super flavorful, guys, I tell you. You just have to try this recipe at home. So once again, I'll say thank you for watching my channel. It is youtube.com/tastebudzng. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you get notifications for all of our new videos. And you do get an alert when we are on live. When we're live streaming, you'll be the first to know. Thank you and bye-bye from Cooking with Benedicta in Tastebudz Kitchen. Bye for now.